Here for a very simple but necessary exercise. Without much ado, I humbly invite the General Secretary of the ruling party, the NPP, to address us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the New Patriotic Party headquarters. If you all recall, last week, Wednesday, 11th December, we invited you to our headquarters to do a press conference and also to brief you and bring you up to speed of where we were as a party, the number of constituencies that we have won, and standing constituencies that we had issues, particularly the attitude of the opposition party, the NDC, obstructing coalition processes in several constituencies. Today, we have met you again to once again bring you up to speed of where we are after our press conference on Wednesday. But before we proceed to give you details of today's press conference, I also want us to acknowledge the presence of some key party stalwarts who are with us here this morning. On my extreme left is Evans Mako, who is the Director of Research and Elections for our party. Next is Mr. Gary Mako, Director of Legal Affairs. We also have Chairman McMenu, who was the chairperson for our electoral affairs for campaign 2024. We have the Majority Leader, Honorable Apinyo Markin, sitting on my right. We also have Honorable Obi Amwa, who is also part of the Electoral Affairs Committee. Then the Regional Chairman of Greater Accra, Chairman Divine, is also here. Our Director of Finance and Administration, William Yamwa. The third Vice National Chairman, Alhaji Masawood, is also here. The Youth Organizer, Salam Mustafa, is also here with us. And we also have our parliamentary candidates, some of our parliamentary candidates, affected constituencies that we will train more details in our press conference. We have Honorable Ekuye Friye, our parliamentary candidate for Ablikuma North, here with us also. Charles Forson, our parliamentary candidate for Tema Central, is also here. Nana Jima Prempe, our parliamentary candidate for Ahafano North. Evans Osemen Sadapa, our parliamentary candidate for Ahafano Southwest. And Abanga Yakubu, our parliamentary candidate for our wing. Ladies and gentlemen, the New Patriotic Party, per our tradition, has always believed in expressing our reservations and concerns through due process. And anyone who knows our history is naming Fu, Kapetia, and Fantia North. But the process also has come to a stalemate or standstill because, again, typical of the NDC, they didn't want the process to go on. So today, the party to give accurate and more detailed account, what we refer to further and better particulars of the outstanding constituencies, so that at least the whole of Ghana, through your medium, will get to appreciate the issues at stake, and also to let you know that as a political party, our next line of action. And I can assure you, all the seats that are remaining, that we in the New Patriotic Party strongly believe, based on our coalition that we won, that seat, whether today, tomorrow, next week, 1 month, what is due us will be given to the New Patriotic Party through fair means. So at this juncture, I will invite Mr. McMenu to brief us and do the press conference.
The leadership of the New Patriotic Party is pleased to welcome you to the party's National Secretariat for the crucial engagement and commend you for honoring our invitation at such a short notice. The essence of today's media engagement is to furnish you with the details of unfolding developments at the various collation centers for the outstanding constituencies and the state of the party's official position on all such matters. The NPP has with great concern taken notice of the NDC's crude strategy of sending their party hoodlums to disrupt ongoing collation of parliamentary election results in constituencies that they know they have lost. The modus operandi of these hoodlums, with the consent of the NDC leadership, is to visit the collation centers and undertake the following lawless acts: destroy all pink sheets they could lay their hands on, destroy ballot boxes and other election materials, beat up electoral officers and party representatives, chase out members of the National Election Security Task Force and take charge of the collation process. Ensure the collation is aborted when they realize that their candidate has lost, and compel the returning officers to declare NDC parliamentary candidates as winners of the parliamentary elections. These infractions have been recorded during the collations of the parliamentary election results for the following constituencies: 1. Ablekuma North, 2. Okankwe Central, 3. Tema Central, 4. Domi Kwabenya, 5. Ahafuanu North, 6. Obuasi East, 7. Ahafuanu Southwest, 8. Apatia, 9. Chase out members of the National Election Security Task Force and take charge of the collation process. Ensure the collation is aborted when they realize that their candidate has lost, and compel the returning officers to declare NDC parliamentary candidates as winners of the parliamentary elections. These infractions have been recorded during the collations of the parliamentary election results for the following constituencies: 1. Ablekuma North, 2. Okankwe Central, 3. Tema Central, 4. Domi Kwabenya, 5. Ahafuanu North, 6. Obuasi East, 7. Ahafuanu Southwest, 8. Apatia, 9. A returning officer pleaded with them to cooperate with him to collect the remaining 67 pink sheets before making any declaration as required by Regulation 43 of CI 127, a position that was strongly supported by the NPP's parliamentary candidate and her agents. The NDC would, however, have none of that, as they insisted that their candidate, Barbara Obin, had won and should be declared as such. This resulted in a misunderstanding, whereupon the NDC reps invited their party tax, who had massed up at the EC Regional Collation Center, to force their way into the collation center, having overpowered the security and destroyed facilities belonging to the commission, the electoral commission. A returning officer, in response to this is okay, this is the video. The returning officer being attacked and frisked. Is there any voice? Police said, I declare you as a winner. Without even mentioning the name of the candidate nor the number of votes obtained by any of the candidates as required by law. Equally, the parliamentary results collation sheet for 1C and parliamentary results summary sheet for 1D could not be filled as required by Regulation 43 1B of CI 127. Additionally, a returning officer could not issue out the rate for 1B as required by Regulation 43 1G. I pose this question, that if your hand is raised that you have won an election and you go to the house What are you going to show to your wife or your husband that you have won an election? There must be a documentary proof. So if your hand is only raised that you have won an election, and you go home, what are you going to tell your wife or your husband? Or what are you going to show him or her that you have won an election? The processes are documented in Regulation 43 of the CI. So if it's incomplete, it's incomplete. So that's for Madame Mekwe and Abdulkuman Law. 2, we move on to Tema Central constituency. Data on the face of the pink sheets for all the 148 polling stations in Tema Central shows clearly that the MPP parliamentary candidate, Charles Forster, won the parliamentary elections for the constituency with 55 votes difference. He obtained 18,870 votes to beat the NDC's candidate, Eddie Bright, who polled 18,815. When the NDC realized that they had lost, they sent their party tanks to disrupt the coalition exercise. These tanks overpowered the security and ran amok at the coalition center, injuring innocent people in the process. This compelled the Tema Metro EC Director, Mr. Ofosuhini A. Manasseh, to call for a suspension of the coalition in view of the prevailing chaos and other security concerns. Coalition resumed on Monday, 9th December, at the Tema Regional Police Command, which was again disrupted by the NDC tanks, who stormed the coalition center in their hundreds and overpowered the police. The tanks took charge of the coalition process and ordered the EC to declare their parliamentary candidate, Eddie Bright, as the winner of the elections, when it was left with 2 pink sheets to complete the coalition process. The NDC knew very disrupted by the NDC tanks, who stormed the coalition center and sought to destroy critical electoral materials, including pink sheets, essential for verifying the results. It took control of the coalition process and threatened the EC's officials to declare their candidate as winner, resulting in chaotic scenes which led to suspension of the constituency coalition. The parties were invited to the EC Regional Coalition Center on Monday, 9 December 2024 to complete the coalition process. The NDC insisted that they would not accept the continuation of the coalition and demanded that the EC should declare their candidate as winner of the parliamentary election. Under visible duress, the returning officer excluded the results from 31 polling stations and declared the results based on only 110 polling stations. This action is inconsistent with the electoral laws as it excludes legitimate votes cast by constituents and fails to reflect the true outcome of the elections in Okai Central. The NDC's disagreement was based on alleged issue with certain polling stations. The attacks stormed the electoral EC coalition center and coerced the returning officer to declare. And here too, we have video footages to corroborate these incidents of vandalism and physical abuse of the electoral staff. I don't think you can show the footage.
This one is applicable.
The security challenges, which made it impossible to continue with the coalition. The returning officer assured the candidates and their agents that she would communicate a new venue for the continuation of the coalition. We are however hearing that there was a purported declaration of results under duress, and that too in our absence, contrary to requirements of Regulation 43 of CI 127. Equally, a parliamentary results collation sheet from 1C and parliamentary results summary sheet from 1D was not filled as required by Regulation 43 1B, 1 and B of CI 127, and the rate of declaration Form 1B was also not issued as required by regulation for the 3, 1, and G. The MPP candidate